care. They don't want to help us. The recording just started.
Oh yeah, I just started. I'm recording on the OBS, and then I'm doing this as a backup. I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
right on. Anyways, I've been begging the county to fix my road for many years, and they don't care. They just tell me to fix it myself, me and my neighbors. They fix like every road in my neighborhood except ours. They don't, apparently, they don't want to take responsibility for our road. And like, I'm basically like highly regarded. I don't know how to fix a road. Like, I don't know who to call to fix a road. I do have some money I could spend to fix the road, but like the county won't even tell us who to talk to or give us absolutely zero help. So,
Oh really? Yeah, man. I don't know. I took a gummy about 3 hours ago, and I'm like totally at my peak right now.
right on. That's awesome. I'm just getting ready to load a bowl. I'm about to do a resin hit.
I felt it coming on, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like talking to Mormo for like an hour, just about fucked up shit, man.
For sure. Yeah, it's better to party with friends, you know what I mean? And I think that's one of the main reasons I enjoy live streaming is I get to eat with friends and smoke weed with friends and stuff. And it just really is a comfort to me to be able to talk to people. And because I live alone, and I'm starting to get out in the community a little more. I've been doing the local art scene and kind of making some friends in the local art scene, but I don't really have people to hang out with or to come help me here or anything. So streaming and doing chats like these are a great comfort to me.
You know, you told me that you were watching the RNC, and I was too. And I thought about you tonight, and I want to ask you, were you at all swayed by the fact that he picked a hillbilly as a running mate? Because I know you're kind of into hillbillies.
I am, and I think that's pretty awesome. I haven't read his book yet, or I haven't watched the movie yet, but I think it's a good choice to reach out to somebody who's more like salt of the earth and kind of rose up from poverty and stuff like that. So on that front, I think it was a really good choice. I thought it was a decent speech. Um, it didn't seem like delivered all that masterfully. Like they really built him up like he's some great orator or something. And I thought it wasn't delivered like that good, but at least it wasn't like threatening or using threatening language. The whole RNC has been pretty chill so far, and yeah, I think he was a good pick. And like I was telling you earlier, I'm closer to center now politically than I've ever been. I always considered myself kind of far left and considered that like as meant like being a progressive and loving politicians like Bernie and AOC and stuff. But both parties have gone to such extreme levels recently and in the last couple years that I now consider myself more center than I ever have my whole life, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Well, I mean, oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
like I mean, like I say, far left used to meant like progressive and you're for the poor and against the rich and all this. But now I'm finding that people on the left, people on the far left are like conspiracy minded and hateful and bloodthirsty. And I've actually deleted several of my liberal friends on Facebook because I was just really offended by what they were posting. I found their posts like disgusting and dangerous. So I just unfriended them. And I think politically now I'm closer to the center than I've ever been, really.
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you, like my pretty much my whole entire life, I've been pretty far right, but not in the sense that they say it today. Because you have a political spectrum that goes all the way to the left and all the way to the right, and all the way to the right, as far as you can go, is no rules, total anarchy. You just do whatever the fuck you want, and survival of the fittest.
Yeah, and
All
you got people like QAnon and people and like conspiracy minded people on both extremes of both parties now. And
right, and it's far. If you go all the way far left to the spectrum as you can go, that would be like a one person dictator rule every facet of your life. And I would say true far left is like Chinese democracy, where they're like watching your every move and finding every little thing you do to try to make you into this like robot type person because
like
it'll
some
make
kind of
society.
like some kind of nanny state or something, or
Well, I mean, those people and also the Nazis had this idea as well. It's sort of like if you kind of force people to move in a certain way, it just makes everything flow better, and everything's very efficient with costs and everything. But I mean, in the meantime, everybody's fucking miserable. You can't do what the fuck you want to do. To me, that's what makes America great is because you can do what the fuck you want to do in America.
for sure that's what I always say. You're allowed to let your freak flag fly in America, and I'm able to wear makeup in my bedroom, and
Yeah, to me, being an American is being an individual. I mean, I know we're united we stand, divided we fall, but that's why they remind us of that because we are so different from each other. You know, we have
for
to stay
sure,
united because the way America is set up is that you can live the kind of life you want to live in this country. You'll find it somewhere. And, for instance, if you want to live if you're like a holy roller, you go live in the deep south. If you're like a gay progressive and you want to be around other gay progressives, you go live in, California somewhere, probably San Francisco. And they make their own community rules. And, if not for that, they wouldn't even have gay marriage right now because they've had gay marriage in California for a long ass time. It was the federal government that said it was illegal, right? So I mean, and also with the weed, right? Even now, right now, weed is still illegal in a bunch of states. I think it's actually legal in more states than it's illegal. But the fucked up thing, it's still illegal federally. It's like so fucking stupid. They passed this hemp law where they can basically sell weed in every state now, but they
yeah,
they still have it fucking illegal. And I noticed in the midterms, Biden floated that he was gonna like pardon all the weed felons. And, like if you were just caught with a joint or something, he was going to pardon you of that because I think those guys still get a lot of problems, trying to find work as adults, and they just got in trouble for having like a pipe that had some resin in it or something back in the day.
for sure.
Which that's really cool that he did that, but he obviously did that for votes. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
he
and
start,
it's the same on both sides. The liberals and the Republicans both throw out a bunch of red meat when it comes election time, and they're all really just got their own agenda that they want to get through, and they just make a lot of promises. Liberal red meat is like, oh, we're gonna tax the rich and we're gonna help unions and all this, and then like so far in Biden's presidency, I don't think he's really done much of any of that stuff. Like maybe he's tried, but as far as I know, like taxes were never increased on the rich like he said he was going to. And
Um, yeah, no, he hasn't, and in fact, my costs as a person who under in the Biden years has been living the worst years of my fucking life right after the most lucrative years of my life, which was, the Trump years, and a little bit of Obama too towards the end. But I mean, as soon as this COVID fucking hit, everything went to fucking shit.
yeah,
And then Biden comes in, and I mean, he does some fucked up shit. I mean, first of all, like he closes off that fucking oil pipeline, which I know a lot of people have environmental concerns or whatever about that. But think about it. Instead of shipping that in trucks around the country that has exhaust coming out everywhere, it's just a
yeah,
big pipeline going through the country. The regional areas tap into it. So I mean, you're getting you're you're getting your oil way quicker, you know,
yeah,
and you don't have to have as much shipping time, which that's better for the environment, in my opinion. Than So I don't know. So he does that. All the costs of everything go immediately fucking up because they ship everything in trucks and they pay for it with gas. So the gas prices go up, and that immediately goes right into the fucking everything. And then he basically starts this fucking war with Russia, and it really is a proxy war. It's the U.S. versus Russia. Ukraine's just a pawn in the fucking game, man. And
yeah.
by the way, a lot of people don't realize the Ukrainians are fucking Nazis, man, for real. Did you know that, Mormo?
I may have heard that, but I don't I don't understand it right now.
Yeah, they're the Nazi party. And by the way, Russia hates fucking Nazis. They're the ones in World War II that I mean, everybody in America thinks America won World War II, but it was like America and Russia, but it was mainly Russia, and they were the ones that had the most casualties. They fucking went in like on foot and were just like killing the fucking Nazis with their bare fucking hands. They fucking hate the Nazis. So to have these fucking Nazi party come up in there and they're saying the Russians are the fucking Nazis, and he's trying to take over the world. I mean, look, man, they're trying to put Ukraine into NATO so they can block off Crimea, which would block Russia off from the ocean. So they couldn't get goods and services, and they couldn't really even perform naval tasks very easily. So that's what it's all about. and
Wow.
and Ukraine agreed not to go into NATO as part of the deal for them to gain their independence because Russia has to have uh, that area. They have to have access to that region because they ship stuff and they receive goods. So what happens is NATO countries will, you know, they say they act through quote unquote diplomacy. What they'll do is they'll block Russia off from the sea. They won't allow them access to that, which would really fuck the country up. If they didn't do exactly what they want to do. So they're playing a game of chess, and if Russia allows that, they would be checkmate. They would be NATO's bitch. So that they want to be a a player on the world stage, and I think they have every right to be. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and one thing I do admit is that during the Trump years, there was the Afghanistan war or whatever, but there was like not really new wars, and there's been two wars under Biden, and I gotta say I kind of do agree with Vance that that money should be spent at home, you know. And
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's another tenet of conservatism. I'm not going to say Republicans because they're just like the Democrats. They want that war machine, you know. Look
yeah,
at them, but you know. So, but you know, historically, the conservatives are supposed to be anti-war because they don't want to pay for it, you know.
right.
And yeah, I feel like those wars were just started for like a power grab. I mean, it's an international power grab, and Russia has a lot of natural gas and a lot of oil, and you know, checkmating them, you know, is only going to enrich uh, themselves. You know, these corporate interests, these oil people. You know, they're the
Right.
ones that all want it. But I will tell you one thing that Russia is like a Russia is like a dissenting voice against this unified world order that they're trying to put into place,
Oh wow.
in my opinion. So I'm not saying that Russia's good guys, but what I'm saying is they are checking these people to make sure that you know they're not just doing whatever the fuck they want to. Russia's calling them out on a lot of shit, and they have been ever since they were in the G9. That's why they got kicked out.
I guess I don't hear any of that, any of Russia's complaints against oh, who are they
Well,
fighting again? I forgot.
I will. Let me tell you. Like, I'll give you a perfect example, and I think this was when maybe Obama's first term or somewhere around there. OPEC came out, and they had made some agreement. Like all the OPEC companies, they weren't going to compete anymore. They were just going to like charge like this high fucking price universally, so that they all get maximum money. Because OPEC was put in. I don't know. Like it's all these countries that compete with each other on the price of oil. They formed this coalition called OPEC, and it's supposed to somehow keep the oil prices low. But instead, they all like got together, and they were going to have like just this blanket rate that they were all going to charge, and it was pretty fucking high. It was like double what the going rate was, you know. So you couldn't
Uh,
get oil unless you paid their price anywhere you went. So what happened was Russia and Iran together flooded the fucking market with like cheap ass fucking oil, like cheap as shit. So it fucked OPEC because everybody was fucking buying up the fucking Russian Iran oil around the world, but we weren't allowed to do it here because we had some kind of like we had some kind of like thing where we had to buy OPEC because I think it's tied into the value of the dollar and all that crap.
uh,
We have what they call the petrodollar. Our dollar used to be backed by gold. So what they did was they went to this fiat currency that's not backed by anything. But what they do is they make all oil trade be in U.S. dollars. So
oh,
like no matter what country you are, you have to pay OPEC uh, in U.S. dollars. So there's all these dollars being traded every day. So that makes the value of the currency go way up.
and didn't that just dissolve recently or something? I thought I heard that the petrodollar just like got ended just recently.
Well, see, yeah, if it did, I'm not really sure. I'm not aware of it. I've had a lot of fucked up shit going on with me, man. So
Yeah.
I haven't really been like paying attention to the news that much. I didn't have power for 9 days, so I couldn't even watch the news.
Damn, that sucks, man. How? What did you eat and drink and stuff during that time?
All right, so I hear there's this tropical storm coming. We get tropical storms all the time, and they're pretty bad. I mean, most places in America, if you got hit by a tropical storm, you'd be like freaking out because it's like literally like you're inside of a car wash and just lightning going off like everywhere, like
Yeah.
like right in front of you, like way high in the sky, and the winds are just like so fucking strong, and the trees all look like they're about to fucking break in half, but they never do, and it lasts a very short time. It just dumps a lot of rain really fast, and it makes everything flood for a few hours. And I don't if you live in a flood zone. So they said there's like this tropical storm coming. It might possibly turn into a category 1 by the time it hits the land. But I live in Houston, so by the time it gets here from the ocean, it would go down one category anyway. So even if it was a category 1 hurricane, it would have been downgraded to a very low grade tropical storm by the time it hit us anyway. And that's exactly what it was. It was just a very low grade tropical storm by the time it hit me. Man, this guy, this thing, whatever it is, Hurricane Barrel or whatever, it completely destroyed the whole entire fucking city, like a nuke bomb went off or something, man. I mean, I have never experienced like this in my life, and I've been through many hurricanes.
Aw.
So I hear this tropical storm's coming, and I'm just like, whatever. I go to bed. I wake up in the morning. The storm came like while I was asleep. I didn't wake up or anything. So I go to sleep. There's nothing happening. I wake up and there's nothing happening. And I open up my front door, and I just see this giant fucking tree like through my fucking garage, man. Like.
Oh.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I go I go manually open up my garage door, and when I open it, all I see is just like tree branches and leaves. You can't see anything else. It's just like you open the door up to like you're in the fucking woods or something.
Oh, damn.
I couldn't even get through there at all. So I go out the other way, and I see that there's just like an entire tree hanging off my fucking house and blocking my garage. So I'm trying to like just kind of like see if I can budget or something, and I couldn't even budget, and so I go get this chainsaw, and I see this fork in the tree, and I'm like, I'm gonna cut this like right down this fork, and maybe this thing will like break in half and like fall down or something. So that's what I start doing. But dude, these fucking branches were like, I don't know, like 10 feet around. I mean,
Oh,
and I've got this little battery operated fucking chainsaw thing. And I'm going through it like a lumberjack, man. I mean, like, and it just keeps going and going, and because the thing's so fucking big, it gets like halfway through, and my battery dies,
mm.
and I have no power. I can't. And I'm just like, well, whatever. And I have like an axe, and I'm like kind of hacking at it some, but I mean it's like so fucking big. So a couple days later, well, what happened was I couldn't even move it, right? So I get trapped in my fucking house, and I can't leave because my car's in the garage.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I have no my phone's dying. I have no phone power.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so I'd go out in my car and I'd try to run it so I could like, well, I would just turn the battery on and charge my phone on my car, but I was only getting 1% for every 10 minutes of battery running my
Oh my
battery in my
god.
car. Yeah, dude. So
Damn.
I'd have to sit there and like, because you can't just like let your battery on for like a fucking half hour, So I had to
Yeah.
like turn it on for a little bit, and I had to turn back off, and I couldn't open the fucking garage door and just let it run because the fucking garage was filled with exhaust fumes. And believe me, I had considered that. You know what I mean? At this point, I would have been asleep by the time it hit that 3% mark. So I would get like 3%, and that's what I would need just to be able to like get an update on the hurricane, like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even know, they're saying like there's no power in the whole fucking area. And I'm just because on the internet, and I'm just like, what the fuck. So, dude, when this happened, I had food in my refrigerator, but I had no power. So I'm like trying to eat I'm eating like cold weenies and shit, like, and uh the I got an email from the water company saying that the water line broke, and there was a boil order, and not to drink the water or bathe in it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. So, and all I had was like a can of Coke, one can of Coke.
Oh my god.
And I'm eating these fucking weenies, and I'm like trying not to drink this Coke, and I'm like choking down these weenies, and I couldn't eat my food. I had a freezer full of food and shit. So, by the next day it's all fucking rotting and shit. So I had to fucking like throw it out. So then I like I put it outside in the trash can because the trash is supposed to come, but they don't fucking come. And like fucking some wild animals rip up my trash bag, and there's like rotting food like all over the fucking place, and it seems like I wasn't the only one that did that. There were some other people that were throwing their fucking shit out because it was stinking in their
Yeah.
motherfucking house. So like, what the fuck are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
And the trash was supposed to come that day. It'd been a couple days since the fucking hurricane, and it's like the trash ain't coming because there's still no fucking power or anything. So it was just getting nasty, man. And then all of a sudden I start hearing this like creaking fucking noise. It's like, this is like fucking 3 days later.
Mm.
And that fucking tree, like where I sawed it, was like starting to give away because I had sawed it like almost halfway through. And I guess over like 3 days, like it just finally started to come apart. And this one like half of this fucking tree just came like almost fucking hit me off the side of the fucking house. If it had, I would have died because I couldn't even push that when it was down on the ground. I couldn't even push. I couldn't even make it budge or wiggle or anything. It was so fucking heavy. And then the other side fell off the other side of the house.
Damn. At least your car didn't get destroyed, or did it?
No, if that tree had fucking come like maybe a couple foot to the left, man, it probably would have went right through my garage, and it was so heavy, it probably would have went right through the fucking car, man. You
Oh,
know, so I'm very lucky it landed how it did because it came down like a giant. It was like a half a tree broke in half, right? It came down like a giant dagger, but
oh shit.
yeah, it landed like straight down right in front of the garage, but all the fucking weight of the top of the tree kind of collapsed on the front of the house, you know. So it was kind of like hanging off the front of the roof. So I got to get all these shingles like right in front of my house, or you know, I have to get all that shingles fucking replaced and crap because they're all like ripped in half. And by the way, I just got a brand new roof just like last year, you know.
Oh, damn. That sucks, Grady.
So then I noticed the ceiling in the garage collapsed like 3 days later. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even notice anything was fucking wrong with it. So I go out and look, and there's like a big like branch, like a big stake, like just stuck right in the my fucking roof, sticking out like 6 feet. So what happened was like there's a hole in my roof there, and the water went down, and I guess it made the ceiling all wet, and I didn't have any power. It was all dark out there. I didn't even look at the ceiling. And all of a sudden, after 3 days, it just like collapses. So like the ceiling of my garage just collapses out,
Oh, man.
and I'm like, what in the fuck? So then, um, I go to bed. I wake up, and this is about the beginning of day 4. So I literally, for 3 days, I had a can of Coke. That first day, I ate like a whole pack of cold weenies, and that's all I had for like 3 fucking days.
Damn.
So I wake up and I go outside, and somebody had fucking chainsawed that tree in front of my garage like in half, and they took it.
Whoa.
Right, and this thing's like heavy as fuck. So I'm like, what the fuck? But they have the half of the tree blocking my car still. I can't get my car out that other fucking side. So some dude just happened to be walking by with a gas chainsaw. He saw me trying to fucking move that thing, so he came over there and just like chopped it up in like 4 or 5 pieces, and we just like threw it off to the side. And I was able to get my car out. And man, I was so fucking happy because I was so fucking hungry.
Yeah.
And I wanted to eat something. I wanted something to drink, and I ripped the fuck out of there. And I'm driving, and every fucking stoplight's out. There's like, I mean, nothing. It's not even blinking or anything. You're just dead. And they don't even have. This is like day 4. They don't even have flashers at the intersection. You know how they have like barrels with flashing stuff when the lights go out and shit.
Yeah.
4 days later, they don't even have nothing, right? So, you know, some people are like flying through the intersection. Some people are stopping. Uh, I'm driving around. Dude, there ain't nothing open. Nobody got fucking power. There ain't nothing open. I'm just like freaking out. I'm like so fucking hungry. And I'm so fucking thirsty. I'm about to die from fucking thirst. I'm just like driving and driving and driving. And there's like every once in a while you see a gas station open, but there's like a mile long line you have to get into. And I don't have very much gas. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn.
So I can't drive that far, but dude, I just happened to drive by and there was like a grocery store open, but like they didn't have nothing cold. It was all rotted and they had to throw it out. So you just had to have they just had like box shit you had to fuck or can shit. So I bought a few cans of shit and I bought some sodas and stuff. They didn't have any water. The water had been all fucking bought. And all I bought was like the shitty soda, like fucking Diet Dr. Pepper. I know a lot of people like Diet Dr. Pepper, but I don't like Diet. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it wasn't Dr. Pepper, it was Diet Dr. Pibb or whatever.
Some generic type stuff.
Yeah. So it wasn't like I even liked what I was drinking. You know, I never drink that. So
Damn, man, that is awful. And then you still had like 5 more days of no power after that.
well, this was like around Thursday, right? So I get on line. I got my 3% after a half hour driving around, And I see that they're saying it might not get turned back on till Sunday, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm already no power like for 4 days, and it's Thursday, and they're talking about maybe like not till Sunday, and I'm like, how could this be? How could we not have power for this fucking long? And it was like a tropical storm. It wasn't even a fucking hurricane.
Right.
And so they start having these power maps, right? My neighborhood, you go to the power map every fucking day. It says we have power, but nobody in my neighborhood has power. There's like nobody in the whole fucking town has power.
Oh shit.
And then every night at midnight, it would go back red, and it would say, "We don't know when you'll have power." But
Damn.
I felt like they were making it look like they had more people restored than they really did. That's why they were turning our neighborhood green on the maps.
Like for the news and shit.
Yeah, they definitely were. Everybody, no, dude. Some of these Center Point Energy workers, they were just like eating a Burger King on their lunch break, and this big violent mob like came up on them and were like trying to turn their fucking truck over and shit. And this some lady just got fucking arrested for like threatening to kill the the electrical worker that was like working outside or whatever.
Oh wow.
And then like they brought in all these people from out of state to help, and they just came on. They were just on the news, and whoever their representative is saying that they're going to be very reluctant in the future to help Houston because we don't appreciate it, you
Oh
know,
wow.
or whatever. But I mean, look, it's not that we don't appreciate your help. It's just like we don't understand why we don't have fucking power for fucking. I didn't have power for 8 fucking days. And by the way, there was a heat advisory every fucking day. The heat index was over 100 degrees outside. And one day it was 107.
Damn.
And I got no fucking AC, fucking nothing, man.
Nothing cold to drink.
No, no,
Damn.
man. Like even like the sodas I had, man. It's like you drink them, they'd be like boiling, you know.
But this isn't Texas's first problem with electricity, is it?
Well, they had that wintertime thing, and that's what also the people down here are getting pissed because you know that happened not that long ago, and now this happened. But that made more sense to me because what happened was, you know, Houston is actually below the ocean. You know, it's below sea level.
San Diego was too.
Yeah,
Or
so
Ocean Beach was.
we have like extreme humidity, which believe me, in July here with that kind of humidity and having no air conditioner for 8 fucking days, I felt like I was breathing in and out of a plastic paper or a plastic bag for 8 days straight, man. I
Oh,
mean, I was delirious and I felt like lightheaded and like I could like I couldn't get fucking oxygen, man, but it was so fucking hot and there was nowhere to go. And they couldn't even like they did. First of all, it wasn't like, hey, everybody go down to the local high school. You know, they've got air conditioner down there, and we got water for you and shit. Dude, they didn't have water. They didn't have electricity anywhere for you to fucking go, man.
damn.
So I mean, it fucking sucked.
Yeah,
And
it sounded terrible. And I mean, I felt so bad. I thoughtlessly posted in your group, and then I was thinking, dang, poor Grady going through all that heat and no power and the tree and everything. Just felt real bad for you, bro.
Well, I mean, I'm just amazed that, I have air conditioning now, so I went outside and I mean, immediately it felt like my face was about to get burnt off. And I'm like, this is what I was sitting in for like 8 days. And I cannot believe I survived that. Um, in general, I would think that I could survive 8 days without power. But in reality, what I experienced was nothing short of hell. It was pure torture, living on Earth. And I mean, I imagine what that must be what life is like in a third world country or something.
Yeah, wow. What an awful story. Yeah, my problems are nowhere near as bad as that. I just can't drive anywhere, but thankfully I went grocery shopping before the storm, so
Yeah, these three kids on bicycles ride up to me and they go, "Hey, Mister, want us to clean up your yard?" And I'm like, "You," and I'm like, I got like trees everywhere, and I'm like, I'm like, "Sure, man. Like, how much?" I'm like, "Uh, how much are you gonna charge?" So these
uh
three kids go look around my yard, and they come around and they're like, $2,500. So I'm like, "No, thank you."
oh wow. Man,
But
that
yeah, yeah, I don't know.
that's
So I'm really like, I'm still fucked up from it, Mormo. And I haven't really had a chance to recuperate because, look, man, I got so much shit to do. I gotta clean this fucking place up. I already cleaned up a lot of it, but I mean, I gotta like, I gotta do a lot of shit. So, oh, and then like a tree from the neighbor's yard fell and it smashed like half my fucking fence.
damn.
And what else happened? Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just horrible. But when the power came back on, that was Monday, or yeah, Monday or Tuesday. I don't even know what day it is, but that was like I was so happy, man. I'm just happy that was over, and I decided I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here no more. Houston is like getting hard to deal with.
Yeah, I know. Like for me, it would just be like I guess the old me would have blamed the government and would have said it's because you're in a red state that the government doesn't like care enough about the people and stuff like that. And but I live in a red state too, and I'm actually getting treated pretty well here and getting my health care and everything. So I don't know. I'm just all mixed up with politics. Like I was saying, I'm closer to center than I've ever been right now. And
Well, I'll tell you what. Most you have these spectrum guys, right? You have the far right people. They don't want to pay any taxes.
for sure,
But most of the conservatives realize that not only them, but their bloodlines have been paying taxes, and you're owed something from that. You were forced to pay them money because they promise you something, and you're owed that. So they're not looking to take that away from you. They're looking to make sure you get back what is rightfully yours.
yeah,
But then you got some of these dudes, but those are like more of the like. I think they're the minority of the party because nobody wants to do that. I like, the thing of it is, everybody likes having that kind of safety net. But the thing of it is, when you need it, you never fucking get it after paying into it for fucking ever, man.
For
Like, really,
sure, I know it. I have to struggle real hard to get health care. Like, I mean, it took a long time and a lot of paperwork and everything, and that's my main issue. And they haven't brought it up at the RNC so far that I've seen is healthcare. But that's just my main issue is getting healthcare. And
well, I think actually on that issue, Trump individually, apart from the Republican Party, I believe, because he is a more moderate kind of person. He did honestly, in my opinion, he did a lot of stuff during his administration to try to like win the left over. You know, um, it much to like the chagrin of a lot of people that were on the conservative side.
right,
And he would never. They would never like. They would just make fun of him harder or try to come at him harder. They didn't give a fuck. But I remember he gave more money to the black universities than the last four presidents combined in 4 years, and that includes Barack Obama, who was a black guy.
yeah.
But he was doing that kind of stuff because he wants them to like him. And he's quoted as saying something like, "Well, I'm their president too, and they need stuff, and I want to make them happy too."
I would
Well,
say that bringing the Teamsters to the RNC was definitely a winning over move by the convention to bring the Teamsters in. That was obvious. That was the big highlight of the RNC so far was the Teamsters, and the Teamsters endorsed Trump. Like, it was just an amazing speech, I thought.
yeah, that was a good. That was a good one too because um, they're generally Democrats. I mean the Democrats are the Union Party, but what has happened is that they've gotten so anti nationalist that their view doesn't really fit the U.S. unions anymore. Because you're supposed to like nationalism is supposed to be horrible.
Hmm.
But the unions, they are nationalists. They don't want their fucking jobs shipped over to other countries. The
Yeah,
union, the union was fucking literally made to prevent that type of shit.
for sure.
So yeah, I think Trump has already displayed when he put the tariffs on the steel. That brought the steel work back to the U.S. man because you could get it cheaper in the U.S. You didn't have to pay that tariff if you shipped in Chinese shit.
Yeah, my and Trump's 10% tariff. At first, I really thought it was a great idea because like you say, make American goods cheaper, and it'll lead to more American jobs. But really, won't that end up just putting the tax burden on the poor and middle class? That 10% tariff.
um. Well, I mean, possibly. I mean, look, I don't think we should be trading with China. I'll be straight up with you. I mean, they're not our ally, and they make most of the medicine that we consume in the U.S. And
Yeah,
it's just because it's cheap, and they fucking do shit to make it cheap. It's crap. You get what you fucking pay for, man. And a lot of people think, like, when they think of Chinese people, I think they were thinking about Japanese people who are very scientifically minded and like reasonable people. Chinese people are completely different. And I'm not talking about by their race, I'm talking about people that live in China.
Yeah.
They're completely, they have a whole different mindset over there, you know?
Yeah. And my family has been like anti-China, and I know that I spent hours at the mall one day, me and my grandma going from store to store trying to find something made in America at the mall. And we spent hours at the mall and couldn't find anything made in America at the mall, you know, me and my grandma.
Yeah. My grandma was all into Native Americans too. She had a lot of Native American artifacts and things like that, which I don't think you're allowed to own nowadays.
Oh.
I think they made some law that all that if they catch you with it, it gets seized and given back to the Indian tribes or something.
Oh, I was saying like made like a product that was made in America.
Oh, you know,
My
I think it's my gummies kicking in, bro.
right on. Yeah, I've been
You got
smoking too.
yeah, you got to steer me back to where we're supposed to be.
It's been an awesome discussion, and it's just at a time in my life where I'm very open to other perspectives and a little less argumentative than I've been in the past. And like you say, I'm just more center than I've ever been before, and kind of right now I'm just bracing for whatever happens and trying to figure out how I'm going to survive the next 4 years, whichever way it goes, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah, I think I think you'll be all right. You know, when we're trying. I mean, I guess your lifestyle because nothing changed for you, right? As far as you know, you got those services under Trump, and then Biden just extended it, right? So nothing really changed for you at all.
actually, my benefits were cut under Biden, but
Oh,
it's
really?
not necessarily benefits I'm even looking for anymore. It's just health care.
Yeah,
Like the whole reason I do what I do is so I can get my medicine and therapy and stuff. And it's you know I got an illness there's no cure for, and fucking so I just got to do whatever it takes to get health care. And it's not, I wasn't chasing after a benefits lifestyle. I just did what it took to get the health care that I needed.
right. But I mean, you do need help in other areas as well, you know, because I don't think you're able to work, right?
Um, I'm not able to pay for healthcare with the money I could earn. Like, and I'll just be as honest as possible with you. And that's when I did my last interview with SSI, that I was just as honest as I could be. And I even told them the road was an issue for me getting back to work, because if I lost my car, then I'd lose my job. And I'm afraid if I go back to work and then I have to, like I'm afraid I'll lose Medicaid is basically what it is. So I mean, I'm there's like an employment shortage in my area, and someone might take me. I don't. I worked most of my life, and like I was actually trying to go pursue um the local art scene and art community was supposed to be a step for me getting back to work. and then I goofed up and hallucinated a lot and ended up having to take a break, and now I'm trying to go back. But like, it was never my intention not to work. I just did whatever it took to stay on to get have my health care that I need.
Oh yeah. You know, I recently joined a really old Mormo account that only had like 100 subs.
Oh yeah, my original account. That's my first account. And I lost my YouTube partnership and started a new account. I think back in 2016 or some, or maybe earlier than that.
How'd you lose it?
Um, Probably it had nothing to do with YouTube. It was about their oh, I can't remember the name of the program now, but those little text ads you can put on a website.
Oh, like Google Sense or something?
Yeah, AdSense. Yeah, I had like AdSense on my website, and I broke policy doing that, and so I lost the AdSense account that was linked to that channel,
Huh.
and I just got all butthurt and just decided to quit, and then I decided to try again, and now I'm a YouTube partner again. So
But was it on that channel or was it on another channel? I saw that you had a podcast like 10 years ago with some dude.
oh wow.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Because I saw it and it had like a lot of episodes.
Was that could have been Tin Can Media maybe, or
Well, in the title, I remember in the title it said podcast, but it was something podcast. And it was you, and you looked pretty young, and you kind of talked more like you talk on I'm Ormo.
oh okay, gosh, that's so funny. I don't remember that.
And I kind of think the guy was kind of pudgy and had like curly hair or something. The other guy, and you were I think you must have been in like two different places because you were kind of like in a StreamYard type setup, but I don't know if it was StreamYard or what.
Huh.
It was really old, man. I like YouTube suggested it to me one night, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Interesting. Wow, that's cool.
And I remember I went to the channel, and there was like a bunch of episodes, but I
With
don't know if that was the channel that was your old channel or if it was another channel.
the channel I've been talking about was just called Mormo. It was just one word, Mormo.
Hmm.
And it was mostly like punk rock shows that I recorded.
Yeah, and then I was watching some like I fell asleep watching your playlist, and then at certain points I'd wake up and shit, and I would see you fucking reviewing food and shit, and I think you were talking about you were like working at Arby's or something.
Yeah, I worked at that was my last job, was working at Arby's.
Oh, all right. How was that? How was that?
It was pretty decent. It was a busy store and it was pretty challenging work, but I liked my coworkers. I didn't like the corporate office, and yeah,
Yeah, I worked there. I worked for them when I was in high school.
right on.
Was your Arby's extremely clean?
Yeah, it was very clean. Well, like we would get if we got hit by a big crowd, then the lobby would be dirty and we'd clean it, but they kept the kitchen extremely clean.
Yeah, I had to. I remember they made us wash our hands and change our gloves every fucking sandwich. So we'd have to like wear gloves, and then we'd have to take our gloves off every fucking sandwich and throw it in a trash can. And we'd have to wash our fucking hands and like put on two more gloves. And this was like during rush hour.
Oh wow.
Just like sandwich after sandwich, you're fucking doing that. And this was like in a time when like half the places weren't even using any kind of gloves. They were just using their bare fucking hands. They're coming out of the bathroom and then fucking going in there and making your fucking sandwich. Like no one gave a fuck back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that, Mormo, when no one wore gloves to make
Um,
your
there,
food?
I used to go to a Mexican food restaurant that had a bowl of chopped up onions and chopped up cilantro on each table, and everybody would just use their hands to.
Yeah, man. That's pretty gnarly. That's pretty gnarly if you think about it.
Yeah,
But nothing happened, and I don't remember really caring or anything.
yeah. I didn't see. Yeah, I guess everything is better when you look back. It always seems better when you look back in time.
Yeah, but anyway, they were like, "This is Arby's corporate policy." Because I complained about it because I was like, first of all, if I'm wearing gloves, why do I have to wash my hands too? And my fucking hands are starting to get like fucking all dried out and fucking crap because I'm and getting weird rashes because I'm having to put my wet hands, in rubber fucking gloves over and over fucking again. And they're
Yeah,
like, well, this is Arby's corporate policy. They're, you know, our customers, have some kind of expect some kind of quality. And I'm thinking in my head, your customers know you as the rainbow beef. Because I would always go to Arby's and I'd open the fucking sandwich up and there'd be a fucking rainbow on the roast beef. You know what I'm talking about?
I
What the
know.
fuck? What the fuck is that?
The first time I worked at Arby's and learned how they make the roast beef, I was pretty shocked and I didn't want to eat Arby's for a while. How it's like a bag of gelatinous slop, basically, that they
Yeah,
bake into a solid. They call it particle beef, actually. And
yeah,
but it tastes so good. I love it so much. And my main problem with Arby's is that I don't like their motto, "We got the meats." And I don't think they need to have every meat under the sun. Like Arby's doesn't need to make sea turtle burgers and shit.
yeah. No shit.
Like just do roast beef at a good price. That's what people want. Arby's is a roast beef restaurant, and we want like 5 for 5. And just like I could figure out that the roast beef was probably paying for all these other weirdo meats that they're selling. You know what I mean? Like they had
Yeah,
they obviously had to raise the price on the roast beef to pay for everything else. And I've always felt Arby's should just be a roast beef restaurant because that's what they're so good at. And their other stuff is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I feel like if they just specialized in roast beef, they could bring their prices down and sell more of it. And that's just how I feel about Arby's. But yeah, I'll tell you the truth, Grady. I plan on getting back to work. I was taking steps in the community, trying to like make relationships, and I thought that would help me get back to work. And I did have some challenges and stuff. And my main problem is that like I can't do the corporate ladder because I remember things that weren't said, and I black out and don't know what I'm saying. And like my because of my disability, I can only earn a certain amount of money. Like how could I be a manager if I don't even know what I'm saying or what people are saying to me. So like I pursue art and video and stuff like that because I feel like in that field I could get wealthy enough to pay for my own health care and stuff, but that like working a corporate job or something, because of my disability I wouldn't be able to climb the ladder. And but so I could I feel like I could work, and I'm working towards getting a job and working. It's just that I can't make enough to pay for my health care, basically.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Basically, if you got a normal job, you would have to pay, your bills. You wouldn't have. They probably wouldn't help you that much, right?
Yeah, and so well, my manager at Arby's told me don't take our insurance. It sucks. Like just stay on Medicaid because like I had to apply to be on disability to get Medicaid, and Medicaid was like the insurance that would pay for my treatment and stuff. And so I
You know
you know
what? What about this, Mormo? What if you got a job that had good insurance?
that if that exists, like that would be fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
What about
and
this? Because
I actually
I thought about this for you, Mormo. I thought about this before actually,
okay.
because I know your experience. You were at the Toys R Us warehouse, right?
That was like one of my first jobs.
Right. So, what about the Amazon warehouse?
Yeah, that's
And I think they got good insurance. I'm not sure, but and they pay like $20 an hour or something.
oh wow. And that's a job I could do with like probably limited interaction with coworkers. Like they could put me in a position where I'm mostly just by myself most of the time, I
Yeah,
bet.
they probably going around scanning boxes and shit all around the warehouse. So good inventory and crap.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's an idea. And I actually I have a strong benefit for getting back to work, that when I accept a job, my employer can get a big tax cut for employing me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that gives me an advantage getting back in the workforce and stuff.
No, I don't think they have like real high standards there or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have an Amazon in my area or not. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you do because they got it. They're called like fulfillment centers, and they put them around everywhere so that when people order, they just get it out as quick as possible.
I'll look into that. I'll talk to my caseworker about that too. We've spoken about me getting back to work and stuff. So
Yeah, that'd be cool. But so you need to find a place that got good insurance, man.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I need an insurance where I pay like 100 and get like 1,000 worth of services, basically. If that even exists, I don't know. But like I think, I could take grandpa's antipsychotic and put on a couple pounds and shit, and like um that's probably what I would have to do if I lost Medicaid. And
Yeah.
then I'd have to pay for my own counseling, which is once a month, and pay to see a psychiatrist like every 3 months probably.
Yeah, that's why you need to make that money and then have the insurance, and then you wouldn't have to pay for any of that, and you get to keep the money too.
Yeah, one of my friends in the art community was saying Target actually has really good insurance.
Yeah, some of these bigger stores like that, and they probably have warehouses too.
I've
Probably the grocery store, the chain there. I'm sure they have warehouse jobs, and they probably have good insurance.
right on. All yeah. Thanks for talking. Thanks for the pep talk, Grady.
Yeah, I don't know. I think well, you do what you want to do. I don't know exactly what you can handle and stuff like that, but I think you're selling yourself short if you're looking at these jobs that don't have good insurance, because they have jobs like they give to anybody almost that they try to lure them there with good insurance.
Okay.
If you look around, I mean, that's how it used to be anyway. I don't know. Maybe things are different nowadays. I haven't been looking for a job for a while. I mean, I'm looking for a job, but the jobs I look at always have insurance and crap.
Yeah, I always get like scam ads that say like, "Oh, we got insurance for $10 a month and all this. Like, are you gonna lose Medicaid? Like, join our $10 a month insurance and all this shit." And I don't know.
Yeah. Also, if they got 401k, take it because they gotta match it. Like you're putting $50 in there, they gotta put like maybe like 25 to 50 in there or whatever their matching donation is. So you end up getting more money, and then you got a little nest egg going, and you don't really miss like 20 or $25 out of your check, but it fucking adds up, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to look into that as well.
Yeah, because all that counts towards how much you're actually making per hour. These people that participate in that shit, the company matches their donation to some extent, and so they end up actually getting paid more than you're getting paid. And of course, it's all invested in the S&P 500. So all that's constantly earning, money usually.
Well,
Because
right on, Grady. I have to go pretty soon.
all right, man.
Is it okay if I plug some of my stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can search Mormozine on eBay to see my Mormozine store. You can, and that's where I sell my art cards and stuff. And I got a video store on Gumroad. I believe it's mormo.gumroad.com. But you can probably just search Mormo Gumroad, and I got a bunch of videos for sale and stuff. And you can check out my YouTube channel, check out my YouTube playlists. Be like Grady and fall asleep with one of my playlists playing. And it's been great talking to you, Grady. I'm glad you asked me to talk because I just feel like maybe more open than I have in a long time because of recent events and stuff. I'm kind of reevaluating my outlook and stuff. So tonight I was a little more open to new ideas and stuff.
Uh huh.
And so thanks so much, Grady. Have a great night.
You too, buddy, and thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Bye bye.
Bye bye.